this long and winding itinerant road trip as Westbrook tried to revive the ball.
We've all heard the narrative about Russell Westbrook. They said he's washed up, that he can't compete anymore, that he needs to retire, that he's too unskilled to still be playing in the NBA. Everyone listened to those narratives except for one man who didn't hesitate to tell his team to go sign Westbrook.
In the first half, Westbrook tried again! Westy!
That guy happens to be the three-time MVP Nikola Jokic, the first man who believed Brody could be a good addition to the Denver Nuggets. And he exposed the wrong things about the Westbrook narrative. After getting traded from the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2019, Russell Westbrook struggled to find a new home in the NBA. He had a good one-year run with the Houston Rockets before moving on to Washington, where he had a pretty good run, averaging a triple-double for the fourth time in his career. He wasn't an all-star that year, but some people knew he still got it. But the opinions changed when he got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2021. When Brody moved to LA to team up with LeBron and Anthony Davis, the Lakers thought they had a big three that could win them a title. After all, those three players are MVP-level stars. But the problem was that it wasn't a good fit. James and Westbrook struggled to play off of each other, especially because Russ has never been known for his outside shooting. When you're asked to play with LeBron, you should be either two things.
And at the other end, throw it down, reverse stop.
An athletic big man capable of rolling to the basket like AD, or a spot-up shooter ready to catch and shoot the ball once James attracts the defense. Westbrook is neither. He's a true point guard who needs the ball in his hands to play his game and be effective. So it became clear that the partnership with James and AD wasn't going to work out. The Lakers couldn't compete with this trio working together, and Russ was the unfair victim of criticisms from people who thought he was no longer good enough to compete. He was the scapegoat on a team that just simply didn't look like it fit well on paper. He couldn't play his usual game, with James handling the ball a lot, and because he was never a great shooter, he struggled off the ball during his run with the Lakers. The inevitable happened when he moved to the LA Clippers. People thought he finally had a new home because he could be a true point guard passing the ball to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Then the Clippers had to get James Harden, leading to Russ becoming the odd man out once more. He struggled to coexist with Harden on the backcourt, leading to poor numbers near the end of the 2023-24 season. At that point in his career, Westbrook was probably starting to doubt whether or not he could still play at an elite level, or at the very least, compete hard on a good team that had a chance to win titles. He was 35 years old when the Clippers let him go to become a free agent in 2024. He lost his athleticism, the one part of his game that turned him into a beast. There was no doubt he was still the same fiery competitor unafraid of attacking anyone, but the problem was that Russ was no longer the same guy he used to be when he was averaging a triple-double.
Oh, Westbrook was trying to add some more juice, couldn't complete it.
The narrative surrounding him at that time was that he was too old to become a starting point guard on a contending team. Some people also thought he was too unskilled to even be playing in the modern NBA, where guards are supposed to be good shooters. They thought he was washed and could no longer play at a high level. To some extent, the narratives were right, because age and injuries had already caught up to Westbrook's body. But despite all the narratives surrounding Westbrook and his supposed inability to play on a contending team, one man didn't hesitate to demand his team to sign him as a free agent. Nikola Jokic is no stranger to criticism. Early in his career, people doubted that a pudgy and unathletic big man could compete in the NBA, where big men are faster, stronger, and more athletic than the European centers Jokic was playing with. In a way, they were right, because Jokic doesn't move fast and struggles to get his feet off the floor when he jumps. Despite that, he's proven time and time again that his lack of athleticism does not hold him back. Jokic's unbelievable skills and passing ability have helped him win 3 MVPs and a championship. He is widely regarded as the best player in the world right now, even if he doesn't even look like an elite basketball player.
Jamal Murray to Jokic. Jokic backs up for the win! Yes!
But he knows a thing or two about criticisms and silencing his haters, and that was why he could relate to the Westbrook narratives. Normally, he's not the type of guy who demands his team to sign players. He just works hard and leaves the front office to make moves that could help the team. But Jokic turned off silent mode for the first time and asked his team to sign Westbrook. If the best player in the world believes you can help the team win a championship, there must be something he saw that everyone else didn't see. Of course, people were quick to say this was a bad signing for the Nuggets. Normally, a guy like Jokic, who dominates the post and attracts double teams, needs to have shooters around him. This keeps defenders honest. They can't double him in the paint because he can swing the ball to an open man. But if they allow him to go one-on-one down on the low post, there's a huge chance he's going to score on his defender. However, Russ lacks the shooting touch a player like Jokic needs from his point guard. And because he needs the ball in his hands to be effective, Westbrook didn't look like a good fit to play alongside Jokic, who also needs the ball in his hands. Everyone thought this was going to be a bad fit and that it was the same narrative as the failed LeBron and Westbrook partnership. In fact, the Nuggets struggled out of the gates during the early part of the 2024-25 season because Westbrook was still adjusting. But someone as intelligent as Jokic must have seen something in Russ to want to have him on his team. True enough, he was right. Westbrook started playing better and better for the Nuggets. At first, they thought he was better as a bench player because he could lead the second unit and become the team's playmaker whenever Jokic was on the bench. But in games where he started for the Nuggets, he showed great chemistry with not only the Joker, but also Jamal Murray. There were even games where he and Jokic both had triple-doubles.
At 32%. Whoa, what a Euro! Wow. Russell Westbrook.
He's even had multiple triple-doubles this season at 36 years old because the Nuggets allowed him to be himself. Jokic was right about him all along, all while proving the naysayers wrong. The narrative that Westbrook is washed up has been exposed, thanks to the best player in the world. But if Westbrook struggled to play with LeBron, why is he even playing well with Jokic? Some people say Jokic and James are very similar because they both attract multiple defenders and are great at passing the ball to the open man. But there are a lot of differences in their styles. James likes operating from the top of the key or the perimeter, where he can see open people surrounding him. That's why he needs the floor to be spaced so that he can drive to the basket and kick the ball out to an open shooter. On the other hand, Jokic operates from every spot. He can play the point center position from the top of the key. And he could also operate from the post, where he attracts a lot of attention because of his strong post-scoring ability. So while he's operating from the post, he has a different way of setting the table up. When multiple defenders are attracted to Jokic down low, he has the option of not only dishing the ball out to the perimeter, but also to a cutter near the dunker spot. That's the reason why he's been playing with Aaron Gordon extremely well. With that, Westbrook has shown that he could also play the role of a cutter who can attack the weak side of the defense when Jokic gets doubled. He's also improved his outside shooting well enough that defenders don't sag on him when he's on the three-point line. But the most important part here is that with Jokic being a center, the Nuggets can play inside out with two elite passers. Westbrook can be the primary playmaker from the perimeter when the option for Jokic as the facilitator down on the low block isn't open. This isn't the same as the James and Westbrook partnership in LA, where they were both perimeter playmakers. In this case with Denver, Brody is free to be himself to be a playmaker on the perimeter instead of looking like the odd man out waiting on the three-point line. That's exactly why he and Jokic recorded triple-doubles together in the same game. And the best part is that Russ is an experienced veteran who has a cheap contract and understands the game almost on the same level as Jokic does. So the narratives about him were wrong. The Joker, without saying a word, proved that he was right in telling everyone the Nuggets needed Westbrook. And it turned out that Westbrook also needed the Nuggets to prove that he still has it.